So we're going to talk about jumping up. So this is Yella. Yella's been surfing in total time about 5 weeks. She's a maths teacher from Germany. Doesn't get the chance much to surf except when she comes over here and being coached. She's doing really well. Riding across unbroken waves, moved from a big board down to 6'6". Yeah, but she did her practice at home. So she's swim training. She's down the gym. She has a skateboard, she does longboarding, and she was doing her jump practice. And this is what we're going to talk about today, is jump practice, how you can work at home on getting your jump up better. But she said to me, it was really intelligent what she said. She said, hey, I stopped doing it. I wasn't doing it right. So this is about doing it right at home. You do not need to be surfing to improve on your jump up. Okay, so there's a couple of tools that you'll need at home to do this. Now, I know that you go to many places and you can buy a cheap softboard, all right? You can buy them and you can use them at home. Take the fins out. It doesn't really matter how long they are, you know? So in the ideal world, in the best of possible worlds, you have a softboard for your practice, okay? But maybe that's not possible. Then it's very simple what you do. You work out how long the board is that your instructor has been coaching you on and you're getting success out of. You work out how long. Don't forget it's in feet and inches, not metric. And you measure it. You go, okay, this board is 8 foot long, 6'6", 10 foot, whatever it might be that you're riding. And then you find what we call a straight edge. These are easy boards. They're used in house construction. You might have a piece of wood at home that's kind of long and a straight edge. And what you do is you just put it down on the floor. You measure out. Now it could be carpet. It could be hard floor. Doesn't really matter. And you measure out how long your board is. Then you run tape. You put some tape down and you simply run your straight edge tape down. If you can hold that for me, Yella, thanks. Down. Now this is what we call your stringer. Softboards don't have stringers, but most surfboards have some kind of central line marker. Doesn't matter if they have it, but in this practice you need to know that you've got a central line. So here's my board. Yeah, here's the center part of the board. Then, really importantly, I need to know where my hands are going to go and where my feet are going to go. And the magic thing is, on every board you will ride, 5'8", 6'2", 7'6", 10 foot, this will happen. When you lie there and you're in your perfect kind of lying down position, we call that trim. When you're there and you put your hands there ready for jump up, this is what you've got to think of. Your hands do not go beneath your shoulders. They go back of your shoulders. Easy way to find them. Put your thumbs into your armpits. Drop them down. And that'll give your pushing position. But it's not where your fingers are, and it's not this part of your hand. Your push is going to come from your bone here, from this driving point here. Bah! That's where the power comes from. So that is where your hands are going to go. And here's the magic thing. On nearly every board you'll ever ride, your front foot position is where your hands just were. So now all we're thinking of doing is putting our foot here. So all I do now is I lie down. I've got my length of my surfboard. I take some tape. I can use a little set square, you know, just a little angle. I'll do it here by eye. I run it across, up my hand position. Bang. I'm ready to have my hands in the right place. Super simple. That your front foot will go where your hands were. Okay, so where are my back foot going to go? Let's look at the board again. Your back foot goes, if you look at me, I'm just standing here, slightly over shoulder width. You don't want to be too narrow, and you don't want to be too wide. So you're looking at a comfortable, there's my shoulders, just over shoulder width. So that's really easy to find out with my piece of tape. All I do, stand on my central marker, get my feet in that nice comfortable position. That's where I should be. Boom. That's where I put my second piece of tape. I'll put my second piece of tape. I'll do this by eye. You could use a right angle or a set square. Boom. And I'm ready to start jumping. Front, back. Now, some of us will have slightly narrower stances, some slightly wider. I want you to really put your feet where you feel comfortable. If it doesn't feel super comfortable there, if you like being a little bit narrower, that's okay, but not too narrow and not too wide, okay? So that's where we are. Now, some of you will ride shortboards. And people think on your shortboard you have a kicker bar at the back of your foot patch. That kicker bar is not used all the time. Your foot, it's very intelligent when you look at the construction of a foot patch. You have a dome area and then a back bar. Now your foot normally is in the dome area, but you will drop it back from some maneuvers and turns into your kicker. So you get your tape and you put that just about 4 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches back. So now I've got, that's my back bar, my kicker bar, yeah? Normal foot position, shortboard, back bar, front foot. Do you know, if you're riding longboards, mid-range boards and stuff, don't worry about it too much. You're riding shortboards, it's a really good help to have a foot patch and to do the training with the little kind of back bar as well. Okay, that's what we want you to do at home. Okay, now the next piece of equipment is a mirror. A mirror. Why a mirror? Because if I'm standing like this, and I think I'm training well, I'm learning to surf, I don't look right at all. This is wrong. You can see it's wrong. You've got to find that super nice, relaxed, John, whatever position. You're here. And how are you going to know if you're doing that right? Now, if you live with somebody else who's got a good idea of style, you go, great. We don't all live with somebody else who surfs or have any interest in surfing. So we need one of these. A mirror. I'll put my surfboard here. I'm in front of my mirror. I've got my lines set out. It might be surfboard, it might be lines on the carpet, hard floor, you know. Hard floor's a bit uncomfortable, but you know, if you have to, some of us don't have carpet. And I get my position, and I look. I go, okay, that looks okay, yeah. My feet are right, yeah, just about. Yeah. Don't have to look down too much. Look up. If you're doing that, you know it's wrong. It doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right. Bring your center in. We'll be talking about more of that later. Head up, super relaxed. And as you work on your jump up, yeah, you can be looking forwards. But in the end, we don't surf like that. We surf going one way or the other. So as you develop in your jump up, you can position your mirror and look at that mirror. When you're paddling into an unbroken wave, you're looking across that wave. You should be. There might be a small time you look away, but really you're looking where you're going to go. So the mirror will help you focus on that. And as you jump and you start to turn, we'll show you that in a minute, you've got your focus on the mirror. If you live with somebody else who's doing this practice with you, who surfs, that's cool. But maybe their idea of how you're standing is not quite right. Use that mirror. Video is wonderful. And you know anybody who's been with this school, you video yourself, you send us the video. It takes seconds for us to know what's going right and what's going wrong. Okay, now, so let's go back to our jump board or our lines. Okay. Imagine I'm a lucky person and I've got my softboard or my lines all set out. I've got my mirror. I want to know what my stance is like. So Yella, can you come in for me? Now before we started doing this, Yella, come in, Yella. And we did a warm-up. All of this, you must stretch out. Dynamic, rotational warm-ups, that's on the YouTube videos as well, so you see it. Super simple. but you don't do this cold. It's a big physical movement. So you're always warming up and stretching, nice dynamic movements before you do it. So yellow. My stance, as you know, I'm kind of soft through the knees, shoulders slightly open, not super open, my hands relaxed. I got awful arms. My arms are kind of voguing half the time, you know. It's a 70s thing, it's very sad. Keep the arms down. Let your legs do the talking, as Oki said, you know. Keep those arms down. But I want you to stand on this board in your surfing position. Okay. So yellow's there, just look forwards for me. Now what I'm looking at there is probably just a little bit too much weight in the back leg. Okay, there, good. Head up, bring your arms in that you want. Super relaxed. Just looking forwards and forget I'm around. Okay, how's that feel? Does it feel okay? Could you be lower, do you think? Yeah, feels okay? For me, you look like you could be a little bit lower. How does your front foot feel? Okay? Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. Now, everybody's got a slightly different stance. Yellow, when she's surfing, she's very stylish and that looks fine, she's going well. At first, I felt her stance was a little bit too much back leg, but that's cool at the moment, okay? Vision is up, hands are relaxed. Always check that you're relaxed, you know? Even if I've got my hands up, I'm still kind of relaxed. All right. Good. So, how do we get to that position? All right. Jump off for me there. Now, what's happening in our jump up? It's very, very simple. There is a drive from the arms. Now, people say, oh, well, you step into your jump up and there's lots of... Listen, just watch the Pro Tour, freeze. It's great. Heat analyzer. Freeze the jump ups. Watch what's happening. And you'll see a certain special thing happening. And 99% of the surfers use it. One thing you do not do is that you do not hold the rails. There are some times when you may hold a rail in like a drop with a pig dog, that's a backhand rail grab. There are times, but generally we're there. And you know, in pro surfing and in, you know, even in some amateur surfing, you're watching people who are actually changing their hand position to help the rotation of the jump. And we're not going to talk about that now, we can talk about that later. We're going to go for the parallel arm jump. And what happens is, there's a drive with the back legs. These legs flick up at the same time as we push. But the funny thing about it, if you think too much about the flick, you'll forget the push. Things we don't want to do. We do not push up halfway. If I do that, I've lost all my push through my arm. If I keep my arm like a piston, imagine, I'm halfway up, that's the push I get. If I'm all the way down, boom, I get all that drive through the arm. So, my chest is high. Nobody's going to jump up well down here. It's not even going to help you paddling. Chest is high, I'm going into that wave. Hands go there. Now try and watch now what happens, particularly lower legs. I'm into my riding position. Now that's my first jump of the morning. It's not too bad, it's okay. But as I do this, it's going to get better and better, we hope. Look at the rotation of the hip. Now you can see what's happening. I'm trying to show you this flick. The legs are coming up in the air. And we'll slow-mo this for you as well so you can see this. Bah! The legs act as like a fulcrum. This word, there's kind of like it's a weight going up in the air. And that helps your body rise. Let's watch it again. I'm going to go right on this wave here. Now, that felt so much better. My third jump, yeah, I'm a happy bunny. You know, now I'm in the right place, I feel relaxed. You know, your first jump, oh, I'm not doing it right. Hey, try your 10th or your 12th. It'll start coming. So that's our jump. What's going on? Rotation, drive, flick, vision. Now, when Yellow was training this at home, you didn't use tape, did you? It's almost impossible without the central line to get this right. You could go to your gym, set it up anyway, but let's work with yellow. Let's coach yellow now and see what's going on. Stand in your position again first, just to feel where you are. Remember, you're a little bit high. Come down a little bit. Cool, yeah, forget your arms, you don't really. Strange thing with surfing, watch. If I ask yellow to turn that way, turn this way, good, right. She won't feel very much weight in the back leg. Now open it and you'll feel the weight in there, yeah? There it's like snowboard, but just go to your there, that's it, lovely. And you feel that little bit of weight. That's ready for you to turn. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Okay, so without looking down, imagine you're on that wave and away you go. Good, hit the spot. Pretty much perfect. Let's go again. On that one there, you had a slight, stop a second, put your body a little bit more forwards. So feel where this part of your arm goes onto there, you got it. Now I want you to think you're on your 6-6. You can't let those feet touch the board, okay? Paddling in, go right or left. Okay, still a little touch with your back leg. So if you'll be doing this at home, you'll feel yourself touching. Your foot position is perfect. You can't, look, it's perfect. But what's happening is a little kind of drag. So come off the board a second, yellow. So if I feel my feet just making that little drag, you can concentrate by going, you can learn not to do it by going 1, 2, and on the third one you jump. So here we go. 1, 2, and that gives you that kind of feeling. Now you can't do that on a wave. There's only one flick, you know. And sometimes on our shortboards we're kicking. Are you kicking yet on the wave? Yeah. Okay. So you give it a little kick. So imagine you're on the wave now. I want you to give it a little kick so you don't think too much about your legs. Okay. You're going right or left. Choose a wave. Yeah. Go for it, man. Look left. When you're ready. Yeah, wow. So she got so much drive by not dragging the feet, she kind of nearly went up the board, you know. You can feel that, whoa, in the air. That's how much the legs help. Yeah, let's do it again. But this time, not 1, 2, 3, super relaxed and just go for it. Yeah, ooh, tiny touch of the back leg. So what will happen is that we can train this at home. Video is amazing, so that you can get your friend to video, stick your stick up there, whatever it is, and watch yourself. Look for the little things that you might find. For instance, we had that little touch of that back foot, okay? You know, you go, oh, it's there. I want you to do it now. Really imagine you're on that wave, okay? And I'm going to give you the mirror. So you're going to look at yourself. Don't concentrate too much. It's more the wave that you're looking at the moment. So I'm going to give you your mirror. Now, you're typical. You like going on your forehand. Yeah? Your backhand's a bit harder. We're going to see in a minute why. But lie down on your board. Is that okay for an angle? Too much? Bit further back? We're good? Okay. So, come back a little bit with your body and make your wrists go on the line. Look where the bone. That's it. A little bit more back. Tiny bit. There you go. That's your driving position. Don't think about your legs. Paddle in. Look at your mirror. Look at the mirror all the time. Don't take your eyes off it. Good. Not much leg touch at all. Let's do it again. Look at that mirror. That's that wave. That's you. You're going on it. Super. Nice jump. Okay, so without the legs, we're over jumping, but that's good. Without that little touch, we're over jumping, but that's good. Okay, so you can imagine, you do this 10 times a day, 3 times a week, with that line. You know, you're going to get faster, quicker, easier. But one of the big things about it, we get kind of stuck in this idea of lying on the back foot and rotating. Listen, in surfing, there's a couple of things we've got to think of. There's a magic position. Stand over here for me a second, Yella. If I've jumped up and I'm back here, all right, there is a moment in my turning where That's vital, that we're actually weighting. But we use the weight on the front leg too. So when you come up and you've made a turn, don't forget there's a moment when you can actually weight onto your front leg. A good guide is if your toe is covering the knee is covering the toe, that's okay. If I go past that point and I can see my toe, that's no good, okay? So that's our kind of magic position. We're allowed to wait there, but we're not, it doesn't even look right. You see, does it look like I'm surfing? It doesn't look like I'm surfing. But if I'm here, yeah, that's a nice weight. Come onto the board and feel that for me. Get yourself down and just look down at your foot and cover your toe. There, good. That's okay. A little bit more. Yeah, that's okay. Now go past it. Ugh. Doesn't feel right. You've lost all your balance. Okay, good. Okay, now, that's your jump practice. Mirror, look what you're doing. You can have it straight at the start. Concentrate on the lines, the rotation. But the magic thing is, you haven't seen Yella in her jump look down once. We don't look down. We've got to be a bit like Yoda. We have to sense where we are, not see where we are, okay? You're landing super nice. We're going to go home to Germany and practice this as part of your training routine, you know? Thanks.